Hello, Joseph Leck here. The real one, not the fictionalized version of myself that I play in the podcast. I am breaking my own rule by speaking to you in this way. Even when putting things on this channel that were real, like advertisements for the t-shirts or the conventions or the Patreon, we always did them in-universe, in character. But alas, I have an announcement that could be made in no other way than me speaking to you directly as the JP Leck of your reality. Not that other reality where all the crazy stuff happens. Well, I guess crazy stuff happens in our reality as well, because I have made my first feature film. And as a listener of this podcast, I think you might like it. The movie is a live-action version of Circle City Supernatural. So this year's Halloween special is an older installment of The Endless Elsewhere. If you have listened to our sister podcast, The Unmaking of Monsters, then you have heard it already. And in case you're wondering, that other podcast is a collection of old audio plays that I made over the years, most of which aired on a couple of different radio stations here locally on Halloween night. So yeah, Halloween radio is sort of a big deal to me. But anyway, I am digressing. The City of Phantoms audio play that served as this year's Halloween special for the Endless Elsewhere podcast was used for story reasons. As Sylvia explained in the introduction, Lindsay and Joseph are off-world, so no new content. But it was used for more than just that. I have actually been planning this for some time now and arranged everything in the story to bring us to this point. You see, the film that I have made, the live-action Circle City Supernatural, serves as something of a prequel to the podcast and actually takes place the same night as the City of Phantoms Halloween special. So now that you've listened to that, you can watch the film and see the other half of that very night. Now, the film was designed to interconnect with the entire Endless Elsewhere universe, of course, but the movie is also its own standalone thing. I tried to make it for those who know nothing of what we do here, but also for those of you who have been with us for years now. In the podcast and in other projects of mine, you have listened to many calls placed to CCS. But now you actually get to see them, and I am thrilled about it. I have never worked so hard on anything before, which is saying a lot for me. I toiled over this project for more than a year, writing, directing, shooting, editing, score and sound mixing. I built the props and set pieces. I did so very much to see this thing come to life. I also spent all of my own money. Only a few thousand, which for a film is basically nothing, but that's big money for nobodies like me. Oh, and if you're wondering, I am not independently wealthy. I am not a man of means by any stretch. By the end, I was donating plasma to finish the film, if that tells you anything. I could have tried crowdfunding, I guess, but I'm notoriously bad at asking people for their money. Maybe if there's a sequel to the film, I'll look into crowdfunding for that. We'll see. Well, since I'm giving you a peek behind the curtain, I might as well tell you that we record the podcast at my house in an old laundry room that I turned into an office. It's where I'm recording this right now. The music and sound effects you hear are all stock or royalty free. I use my friends and family who I cannot pay. They do it because they love it. Anyway, all this is to say that we are not a professional outfit. We have no studio backing, no affiliations with networks or companies. We have no sponsors. We are as independent as it gets. The podcast is literally homemade, and so too was this film. Making it was a tremendous burden on us, but Lindsay and I were determined to make it happen. Oh, and in case there's anyone out there who doesn't yet know, Lindsay and I are married IRL, as the kids are saying. While we only just wedded in the podcast last season, we've been married for 16 years and been together collectively for more than 20. That's right, all that chemistry is natural, baby. We play fictionalized versions of ourselves as neither one of us really considers ourselves an actor. Well, I think she is because she's so dang good, but me, not so much. I play JP Leck because any idiot can play himself, right? Or at least one facet of his personality. Anyway, Lindsay stars in the movie as her character from the podcast. Like the podcast, I used all of my friends and family again. All the same people whose voices you hear in the podcast, only now, for the film, most of them get to play all new characters, which was a lot of fun. It was absolutely essential to have the film available both physically and digitally. I know how much my fellow genre fans love their physical media, so we have it available on Blu-ray, which you can purchase through the website. Link in the description. We have them going for a discounted rate for spooky season, so get yourself a copy today. Now, in addition to a physical release, we are also releasing the film digitally to various streaming services. This can be a slow process, however. So far, we have one of the major platforms that has already licensed the film, with more to follow. I don't want to mention which streamer picked us up already, not until it's actually available, but it's very, very exciting. But again, the gears turn slowly in this process. It could be weeks or even up to a couple of months before it's available to stream. We simply do not know when the film will go live on any of the channels. Once it is available, however, you can count on me jumping back on here to let you guys know where it's streaming. But in the meantime, if you just can't wait to see the film and want to support us, please do order yourself a Blu-ray. Besides, even when the film is streaming, none of the streamers will have all the behind-the-scenes making of content that's on the physical version. Oh, and just a heads up, our website uses PayPal at checkout, but you do not need a PayPal account to use it, and PayPal accepts all major cards, so you're good to go. As for the podcast, we are not done. There will be more, but as you've heard in the show, we are entering a new age of the Endless Elsewhere. However, with the fictional radio show ending in the story and everyone being pretty depressed about it, myself included, I thought this was the perfect time to do this film. So for all of us who were bummed that CCS is no more, well, here's a whole dang movie of Circle City Supernatural. As I mentioned earlier, I'm just so very bad at asking people for their money, but if you want to support us, do get yourself a Blu-ray please. Also in the shop are posters for the movie, t-shirts, mugs, all of the novels I've written, the comic books I've created, and based on what I've told you about our shoestring operation here, you now know better how much we could use your help. The Endless Elsewhere runs on fumes. It would be nice to put a couple of bucks in the tank. Thank you in advance. But anyway, the trailer's up, link in the description. If you like what you see, buy it. Oh, yeah, also, at the time of this recording, the film has entered the festival circuit and has already been an official selection by a couple of the festivals. Not all of them have announced their selections just yet, and some are not even until next year, but do wish us luck. We're going to be doing some road trips this autumn to these festivals. If you want to follow along, check out our social media accounts. The Instagram one is what we use most. Link in the description. Alright, I think that's it for now. Thank you so much to everyone for your support. I really think we've made something special here with this little podcast and now the film. The podcast has really started to take off here recently, and we couldn't be more excited about it. I'm honestly not even sure what's going on other than people are telling their friends about it. That word of mouth is truly the best way to grow a show, so please keep at it. We also hope to grow the film in the same way, so do check it out. Thank you, my friends. Joseph, out.